All right, well, I wanted to come back and re-record the last 5 minutes of the video, which cut off yesterday, just so we could get a little bit of closure on who this guy is and try to pick up where we left off. Um, I believe where we left off was right after Revelation 13:1, which says, "Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name." And now I was comparing this to the beasts of Daniel, having the 7 horns representing the 10 horns representing the 10 kings, and uh, the other horn, which was speaking blasphemy, representing the Antichrist. Um, but I had implied that, if this is a collaborative kingdom, this fourth beast is a collaborative kingdom of wickedness, um, there's potentially bits and pieces of the prior ones all with it that Satan's been working throughout time. The movie reference I was giving, I think it was called Fallen, was with Denzel Washington. He was a cop who put away this serial killer, and I believe he was put to death. Um, and then after a while, the murder started happening again, and it seemed like the killer had the same MO and was saying the same kinds of things that the previous one was. And so I think that Denzel was kind of doubting that he got the right guy or something. Maybe it was a copycat or something. But what he come to find out was that the premise was it was a demon that had possessed each of these men, and every time that person was killed, he would move on to the next person, and had been doing that for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. Um, but it made me think of this ongoing kingdom of wickedness um, under Satan's dominion, and how, if there is a collaborative one, it could have bits and pieces of the prior one kind of integrated into it. And that's what I think I see a bit more of as I look at this beast, because this beast uh, seems to represent the same beast from Daniel. And if we go on into verse 2 here, we see that a little bit more. John writes, "Now the beast which I saw was like a leopard." Looks a lot like a leopard, doesn't it? Coincidentally, the same as the third beast from Daniel. "Was like a leopard. His feet were like the feet of a bear." A lot like bear's feet, also indicative of the second beast from Daniel. "And his mouth was like the mouth of a lion." This looks a lot like a lion's mouth, which was representative of the first beast in Daniel. So we've got a leopard, a bear, and a lion all making up parts of this beast of Revelation, all making up the parts of this beast that seems to um, be indicative of the fourth beast from Daniel, which would also be, this end times beast. Um, but that verse goes on to say the dragon gave him his power, his throne, and his authority. Well, who is the dragon in Revelation? Satan. So basically, this is a kingdom potentially made up of bits and pieces of past kingdoms, and potentially a collaboration of a lot of people in a lot of places around the world, because it's multiple kings, multiple rulers that these horns represented. And they're empowered by this dragon. They're empowered by Satan. He is the one who gives them their authority, as it says. And this shouldn't be completely surprising, because what did Satan tempt Jesus with in the desert? He showed him the whole world, and he offered him that authority if he would worship him. Well, what if he didn't stop with Jesus and offering power and authority to those who worship him? So I think it's important to be vigilant in watching for things like this. If you've never seen this, if you don't know where this is, and it kind of seems to go along with the idea that there's a lot of rulers from a lot of places collaboratively representing this beast. This was installed in November of last year, November 2021, and people noticed the similarities between this and the Beast of Revelation, and they spoke up about it, and it was removed the next month. It was removed last December. But it was installed at the United Nations headquarters in New York City. Not by any means implying that the United Nations is this beast or anything like that, but it seems curious that a place where a lot of different leaders have influence are intentionally putting up artwork that represents so clearly this beast of revelations that's going to have power and subdue the world and all these things. It's important that we're just watchful. Like I said, I may very well be wrong about a lot of this, but it sure fits the description to me. So let's just let's be vigilant, let's be watchful, and let's not be deceived. One last little thing that I wanted to add that I forgot to add to the last video. The name of this statue is the Guardian for International Peace and Security. And I just thought that was a curious name for a piece of artwork that so clearly is representative of this beast of Revelation that's going to bring destruction throughout the world, for something that's supposed to represent a destructive worldwide force to be called a guardian for international peace and security.